boring, or is it tedious, or is it just old hat? Like, what is your relationship with that expression now?
It's strange because it's such like heated moment that you say these words that were very hurtful to me at the time.
Okay.
So coming out of the villa and it being like an iconic line is kind of nice because it's like made it fun.
Yeah.
But at the time,
it was upsetting.
It was hard for me. Yeah. It wasn't nice, but now we just laugh at it, don't we?
And there was a happy ending. I mean, in the end of
exactly.
it, let's face it. You know, people can get quite serious about Love Island and talk about misogyny and bullying. Do you listen to that and take that seriously and say, you know what, there is that element of it, I'd like to address it? Or do you say, no, you're reading too much into what was a bit of fun?
Do you know what? There's always going to be bullying in life. There's bullying at work, there's bullying at school, there's bullying on the street. People are just projecting themselves onto you. And the best thing you can do is just be confident, give it a smile, and just know who you are and be authentic. And don't, you know, be bothered about these bullies, you know.
Where did that come from? Because any people I spoke to all week when I was saying you were coming on the show always said to me her confidence was extraordinary, and it wasn't. There's a huge difference, as you well know, between cockiness and confidence.
Yeah.
And you definitely have the former rather than the latter. So do you want to tell me a bit about where is that from home? Is it just personally, you know, personal growth, if you want to call it that? Where did that come from?
It mainly came from just growing up, and I think everyone can relate. Like, you know, at school, you know, I had like a hard time. I was bullied. I was quite overweight. I had no friends. I used to eat like my lunch in the toilet on my own, like lock myself away.
That's horrible.
Yeah, and I just felt like, you know what? It doesn't matter if I've got no friends. Like, I'm going to do what I love doing, and I just studied. And then naturally, you just made friends who were accepting you for you.
Yes.
And I think in life, like where my mum's also like a counsellor and a relationship coach, I think she kind of kept telling me, just be yourself, Ekin. People aren't going to like you, but they might really like you. But just be with people who like you. You don't need everyone to love you.
Yes.
You've got your own army behind your back, and I think that's so important for everyone.
So your mum was important then in terms of just nurturing your confidence as well.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if you look back, but when you found yourself being very nice to people and then you see the show back, if we all look back if we were all filmed in real life, this would happen a lot, I'm sure, when you see them, people that you thought were nice were bitching behind your back. When you look back and see the people doing that, do you find yourself forgiving or do you find yourself more perturbed by what happened?
You know what, I've got, even now, nothing bad to say, because I have love for everyone. I think everyone's on a journey and everyone's unique, and if someone wants to say something bad about me, or let's say the word two-faced, that's on them. That's their problem, not mine. But I still carry on spreading love and being me and just be nice to people. And that's what makes me happy and keeps my sort of authenticity going in life.
You know, when you now are in like peak Goldfish Bowl situation, as you well know, followed and reported on and on TV chat shows and so on. But particularly then when it comes down to private life, it's going to be quite hard, especially in the modern era, because everything is filmed and videoed, as you know. So the scrutiny that you and Davide are under, do you feel that's it's kind of heavy? Would you rather sometimes you could do a deal that you could just disappear to get no one looking at you, or do you feel that's part and parcel of the gig now?
I think it's especially for Davide, it's hard for him to kind of get used to, and myself really, for the public eye.
Why him particularly?
Because I feel like, you know, anything anyone does, it's always kind of, people have always something to say, and it could look wrong or right, but you just have to be yourself, and a relationship is private and it's between you two. And whether people want to comment or judge, it's up to them. Yeah. And I just think, don't read Daily Mail, don't read the comments. There's always going to be someone with negative things to say.
Yes.
You know yourself. You know the people that love you and support you. You know the people who are with you in this journey, and that's it.
Our previous guest, Michael Fatley, has a similar attitude to naysayers and people who are trying to put you down.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think it's good for younger people to hear you guys as role models saying that, because they could go to school and then the bullying follows them home on their phones, and you know you're right.
You know, always remember the bullies at school always end up either working, you know, being quite
unhappy, shall we say?
Unhappy people when they're older, and just remember that. Don't let them kind of put you off. Study, work hard. It doesn't matter if you have friends or not. Do what you love, you know, and always be humble. My head is back with young you in the toilet eating your lunch on your own. Sad.
It is a very sad picture, like, all jokes aside, But I think it clearly informed you, because I think there's a lot of younger people watching tonight on the couch with their parents who aren't on their phone because their friends are not being nice to them, or so-called friends. So I think they'll take something from what you're saying.
I hope they do. I really do.
Because you've got that kind of role now in life for however long you want to be in the private life. Let me ask you, in public world, I should say. Let me ask you about the Miss Ireland situation. No. So you represented. Tell everyone what happened. You represented Ireland in.
So when I was 17, I did Miss Asia Pacific, and it was a beauty contest, and it was my first ever kind of travel.
Sure.
I was very young and very confident. I just went away, and my manager at the time said, could you represent Northern Ireland? And I said, sure. And it was kind of within the island, like the whole of the country. And I was like, yeah, why not? And I had to research about, Ireland itself, and, the Baileys, the Guinness, the baby Guinness I tried, by the way. Amazing.
Yeah. I tell you what.
A few of them.
Did you,
great.
when?
This afternoon was great.
Oh,
yeah.
Even better.
I do love it.
They normally cut a long night short.
Really? I'm still here, guys. Only joking.
Good on you. God bless your stamina. Anyway, you represented. They said Northern Ireland. You said
Miss Ireland.
So
and then I obviously had 2 weeks in South Korea, with like different, with Miss Russia, we had Miss England, Miss Scotland, and all other countries were there. And I was proud. I know I've never been to Ireland before, but I was very proud.
So you'd never set foot in the country.
Guys, okay, that is an old picture, okay? I was 17 then.
That picture was taken just after your second baby Guinness earlier. And,
my fifth, guys.
Or your fifth baby Guinness. No, but so you ended up representing the Republic of Ireland, having never set foot on the island at all. I'd love to see the questions and answer session there. But nevertheless, thank you for doing that.
I promise you I'll research more next time.
Do you want to ask you a bit quickly about Laura Whitmore's leaving?
Yes.
So, your thoughts on that?
It's sad she's leaving. She's great. Obviously, like Caroline Flack, she has, always been in our hearts, and I feel like no one can ever replace Caroline Flack. But Laura's great, and I don't know what's going to happen now. Yeah. I've seen some of the
runners and riders.
There's been votings and stuff. But look,
would you say yes if they offered it to you?
I mean, so much going on right now. I would not decline it. I'd love to, but I think right now there's other stuff that my Anna Davide's show coming up. We've got Oh Polly that I've now launched. My new range is coming out on the 15th. We've got Be Perfect, which is also launching tomorrow in Ireland store at 12.
Okay.
The makeup brand, and just more exciting.
So you're in the
things.
Blanche tomorrow, as we call it here in Blanchestown, and so you got all these products. You got the program with Davide. You mightn't even have time if they offered it to you. They might have to give it to another woman who sat here a few years ago, Maura Higgins. Who
I love her. She'd be great.
She'd be good too, wouldn't she?
She would be great, and she's Irish.
Listen, who are you telling?
There you go.
So you've done your research.
There
well
you
done.
Go.
Listen.